Hey there, Tad Hargrave from Marketing for Hippies. If you have a program that you're trying to fill up and the numbers aren't what you think they should be, or you tried in the past and it didn't work, I want to give you the most obvious, simple thing that you can do that can help you fill it up. And this is assuming you've already sent out the initial blast, a sort of friends and family email telling everyone about it. If you've already done the basics, in terms and posting on Facebook ads, and you still haven't gotten the response, there's a very simple thing you can do that almost nobody does anymore, but can have a staggering impact, and in fact is where most of your people may begin to come from eventually. So before I get into it, feel free to follow me, subscribe. On YouTube, there's the red button here with a little bell icon, and you can follow me on Facebook. I've got a Facebook page. All sorts of things, and an email list at marketingforhippies.com if you want to sign up. So what is this idea? The idea is this: just ask them one-on-one. Send an individual ask. Now, as soon as I say that, people are just like, oh, because there's something very safe and anonymous. You send an email to your list, they've all subscribed, but it's not a personal ask, so you're not vulnerable, they're not vulnerable. It's okay. You post it on Facebook, you do even a Facebook ad. There's no pressure on anyone to respond any particular way. But if you ask somebody one-on-one, you better believe there's pressure now. Because now they're, oh, what if I say no? I don't want to offend this person. Maybe I'll just tell them I'm going to think about it, but I am kind of interested, but I don't want to get into being pitched. You know, all this stuff starts to appear. So I just want to share some basic thoughts about this. And there's a few examples of where this came from. And I'm actually just going to make a note for what to put in the notes here below. So I had a colleague of mine. He does a meditation, like a meetup once a week or so in his house, or maybe just once a month. So just be in a living room, like in my living room, very personal, very informal. And he has these meditation retreats he does. And we're talking, he says, I feel so weird pitching them. You know, we've just sat through this beautiful meditation, and then for me to say, oh, and by the way, here's a brochure for it just felt strange to him. And I said, well, I can get that. I might feel strange if I attended your thing and then there was any kind of pressure or pitch. And, you know, but if he'd felt okay with it, maybe it would be fine. But, you know, if you feel off about it and you start trying to talk about it while you're feeling off, it's going to feel off for other people. So it felt off for him. So I was saying, well, what else could we do? I said, why don't you try this? Because it's small groups, you know, 10, 12 people. I said, why don't, every time you do one of these, you have a list of the names of who was there. And afterwards you sit down, and you've got their emails too. You sit down and you literally take a minute and you meditate on each name, on each person. And you just ask yourself this question: is there any way I could be useful to this person? Including my own programs and workshops and one-on-one, but also other things. And I see, here's what'll probably happen is some names, nothing. It'll be a flat line. There's just nothing you can think of. Somebody else, a little cartoon will come to mind. You just, oh, what they said, I'm gonna send them this little cartoon. Or it might be a TED Talk, or it might, you know, you get the sense. Or maybe somebody else's workshop. That might be the honest thing, like, oh, you know what, they said they're struggling and they're going through divorce. Oh, they should talk to this life coach because they specialize in divorce stuff. But it also might be that you say, you know what? Man, when I think about them in my retreat, I get excited. And so then if there's somebody you think you could help, I mean, whatever it is, send them an email and follow up. But in terms of the ones where you think you could help them, the email would sound something like this: thank you. Hey, thank you so much for coming to the meditation meetup. It was good to see you again. You know, I was meditating afterwards on everyone's names who was there, just trying to think how I could be useful. And when I came to your name, I have this you know, week-long meditation retreat, and I just thought of you being there. And I don't know if it's a fit. I don't know if it's a good idea. I just noticed I got really excited at the thought of you being there, and I think it may be useful. So no pitch, no pressure, but this is the link. If you have any questions, let me know. I really don't know if this is a good match for where you are in your life right now, but here's the info. You know, God bless you, basically. You see what I'm saying? And by the way, that you might want to replay that language I said, because it's a little off the cuff, but it's very conscious. I don't know if this is a fit. No pressure. Just thought, I felt excited. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to, as much as possible, take the pressure away while still sharing it, being clear and sharing it. And so that was it with the meditation thing. But of course, you might just sit down with a list of friends. You might go through your friends list on Facebook. You might go through your phone. You might, you know, you start making a list of people who you think, like, who who would I love to see at this event? Who do I think might really benefit? Who would this be really useful for? And you make that list. And you go through it, and you might cross out some names. Nah, not them, because it's very important that you feel genuinely called to reach out to them. This can't be everybody. I remember some of my colleagues that had an email they encouraged people to send out to get referrals. And the first part of the email was, hey, blank, insert the names, like, hey, Tad, was just thinking about you the other day. But you weren't just thinking about them the other day. So that's lying. So it's really important that you go through the names and you just, I feel really good about sending it to this person, because there is a possibility, of course, you could still send them the invite feeling really good in your heart about reaching out to them and they get offended. That's possible. But at least if you're offended, they're offended by it, you don't have to say, but defend some marketing tactic. You can just say, sorry, I thought it would be really useful. Now I know I won't reach out again. When one of my colleagues came to Edmonton for a workshop that we did together, I reached out to, 10 or 20 people, one-on-one, just saying, look, I've got this colleague coming. This is going to be really good. I think you might like this. No pressure. Here's the link. It was basically that. And it was mostly cut and paste, because how many different ways can you say the same thing? But a little bit personalized. But I sent that out to a number of people, and people thanked me. This is so important for you to hear. People thanked me for letting them know. This does sound good. Wow, thank you. I wouldn't have seen this. Right. So the one-on-one outreach, consider just making a list and reaching out to people and just saying, I thought about you. And that may turn into then a conversation. They may need to talk to you. So, okay, let's talk. I want to make sure it's a fit. And of course, a well-written sales letter makes a big difference here. So that's my thought. Consider reaching out one-on-one. We almost never do that these days. Everything's become so safe and sanitary and sterile. These mass emails, mass this, mass that. And that's going to increase. I promise you, this world is going to feel more and more anonymous. So the fact that you thought about somebody personally and reached out to them without any pressure or assumption, this is going to go a long, long, long way, because it's going to stand out so much in the face of these big mass group methods of outreach. So anyways, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Any buts, and I couldn't do that. Tell me all about it below, because maybe that'll turn into another video that could be useful, not just for you, but other people. And if you like this video, please share it with your friends. Thank you very much.